Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ya, untuk episode selanjutnya kita akan masuk ini bercerita. Tempo hari kan yang episode yang lalu kita bercerita secara tertulis ya, dengan menggunakan semua tenses yang telah kita pelajari. Nah, sekarang kita akan menggunakan ini tenses yang kita pelajari, tapi ceritanya secara lisan. Saya akan bercerita secara lisan sesuatu yang telah terjadi ya, yang terjadi di waktu yang lalu, terus saya cerita ini betul-betul terjadi ya. Ya. Back in 1978, I went to Lampung. It was for the first time I went there. I left home in Jakarta. I lived in Jakarta at the time. I left Jakarta for Lampung by bus. But I took the bus up to Merak. And from Merak, I wanted to enjoy ferry. I took ferry because I wanted to go by sea, to enjoy the beautiful panorama of the sea. Yeah. It was a few days before Idul Fitr days. It was a few days before Idul Fitr days. We had to buy ticket first to board the ferry. I had to buy ticket first. So we stood in long line because there were so many passengers. And then after I saw about 10% in front of me, in front of my line to buy ticket, so I could buy ticket after 10%. Then I could buy, but suddenly there was an announcement. The ferry is going to depart 15 minutes from now. So please buy ticket on board the ship, on board the ferry. So I ran to the ferry. It was about 100 meters away. So I carried my bag. It was rather difficult because running while carrying a bag, the bag was heavy enough. So we board the ship from a ladder, on the side of the ferry. It was high enough. And arriving near the board above, there was a security man giving direction to everybody to go to the economy class. Then when it was my turn, I said to the security man, "Excuse me, sir, I would like to go there." I told the security man that I would go to the first class. I would take first class. And then the security man allowed me. Yes, please. But other people had to go to the economy class. Entering the first class cabin, no empty seats were available. There were some people also standing because they got no seat. So I was also standing. And then after some time, I got an idea to go to the side of the deck, the first class cabin deck. And then I saw the restaurant there, the ferry restaurant. And so, but when the lift was leaving Merak Harbor, the panorama was beautiful. So I enjoyed the panorama first. I could see the island of Java and the island of Sumatra and some small islands, and I could enjoy the very clear blue seawater, and they were flying fishes. So it was beautiful. After standing outside the first class cabin, I went to the restaurant. I ordered soft drink, but I didn't order rice or big meal. I just ordered snacks. Why? Because I wanted to sit there long enough. So I didn't have to stand up long. So yeah, I ate snacks, and while having a chat with new friends there around the tables, and after that, maybe after it was long enough, I paid the bills, and I went to the deck, the first class deck, but outside the cabin, while enjoying the beautiful panorama of Sumatra. I met a university student there, and I talked with him. He was a friendly student, and I was friendly too, for sure, because it was a good thing to see him, because he could give me much information about Lampung, because he was a native of Lampung. He lived in Lampung, but he studied in Jakarta at that time. So after arriving in Panjang, at the time not Bakahuni, in 1978 it was Panjang Harbor. I got off the ship. I got off the ship and then went to Bandar Lampung. By bus. Yeah. Arriving in Bandar Lampung, there was only one microbus to go to the west, to Pringsewu and then Pagelaran. Yeah. But there was a problem with that microbus because they didn't have sufficient passengers to go. There were maybe only 30% of passengers for the capacity of the microbus. So it was not profitable to take them to their destinations. So all of us had to wait. After it was becoming late, then the driver said, "I'm sorry, I cannot take you to your destination. I must go home," he said. And then they said, by the way, they said, "If you want to charter this microbus, I will agree." And then I said to other people, "Please, let us charter this microbus, and then we must share the fare, yeah, with the same amount of payment." But all of them were reluctant. They didn't want to pay maybe about triple the normal price to charter the microbus. So I went out pretending that I was not interested in chartering the microbus myself. And other people also went out. After the driver was alone, I approached the driver. "How much I pay?" I said to him. "How much must I pay to go to Pagelaran?" He gave me a price. Then I bargained. And finally, we agreed at a price, a fixed amount of money. But I said to him, "But I must go alone. If others will join us, they must pay the same amount with me. So the fare must be the same to pay, or we must pay together with the same amount of money." But it was unlikely, because even they just pay 3 times the normal price, they declined. Yeah, Mr. Mirza? Yeah. Please ask me question about my story.